Hello and welcome to the Heresy Lodge. I'm your host, Dylan Cooper, the constant co-host over here.
Gavin Franklin.
And guys, we got an episode for you. We are previewing. What the hell's the name of this? The Sigil? No. The Silent War.
Yeah, the Silent War.
Woo! We are previewing the Silent War. It's a thing.
So far, it's the worst book I've read. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can it be worse than The Outcast Dead? And the answer is, it's just really fucking boring.
At least The Outcast Dead, started off and you're like, okay, this is interesting. And then about midway through, you're like, well, this doesn't make any fucking sense anymore. This one, the whole thing, you're like, please end. This
now,
hurts.
granted, both of us have only read half of the book because
only two stories.
Yeah, it's two stories for the first half of the book, and they are slogs. Now, if people, I don't know, I think I'm being a little too harsh. Maybe some people in Discord will tell me otherwise, but yeah. Yeah, because in Outcast Dead, the actual Outcast Dead storyline is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, we're the Heresy Lodge.
That we are. And things that we do on here is giveaways, which will be happening in, I think, 6 episodes from now. I think this is number 94. On episode 100, we will be doing a giveaway. Probably going to just do a GW
Voucher.
gift certificate because it's easier for people in other countries.
Yes.
So, to get in on that, all you gotta do is interact with us. Hop on our Discord. It's pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. Feel free to interact with us on Twitter as well. Also, if you like contributing to the podcast, tips are enabled. Go for it. You can email us at theheresiLodge@gmail.com. We are on YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit us with a comment, and I will count that as well. We may have merch coming up soon. Waiting on the final designs, and then we can start that going. Anything else?
Don't think so. I wish I had some drama to talk about, but I really don't. I didn't play in any tournaments. This weekend I'll be in a tournament. I'll come back with some tasty drama.
Oh man, I hope you go against your nice guy again. That'd be fun.
It's a different state, so I hope not.
He's following you now.
He's just looking for me.
Where's that fucking Gavin guy? I will show him the rules.
Exactly. What are you drinking today, Dylan?
Well, we started right after work, so I did not go to the liquor store. So I was like, what is cold in my fridge? The answer was White Claw, strawberry.
Well, I actually had some people over for Labor Day, and some of them left some beer behind. I think I've had this on the podcast, actually. It's called Moosehead Lager. It's just Canadian lager. Have you heard of this? Have I had this on?
Yeah, I think you have.
Well, I'm sorry for the repeat, but I'm about 90% sure White Claw Strawberry has also been on the podcast at some point.
I don't know about strawberry specifically, but White Claw for sure.
Fair enough.
Probably by me then, too.
This is my girlfriend's dad's favorite beer, which is fucking crazy.
This is not my favorite seltzer.
This is like it's a good beer, but it's like I don't know. The taste. You ever had like a beer that just naturally tastes a little skunky?
Yeah. Yeah, like I think like regular Corona does.
This tastes like Corona. That's what it tastes like. There it is. Thank you.
The Canadian Corona.
Yes. Guess we can talk. We might have to fill a little bit of time this episode because the stories, not only are they boring, there's really not a lot of content in the stories. So yeah. I just admitted to you guys we'll be doing a bit of filler. When it comes to the game, I think what we can discuss is what's going to be happening to the meta here shortly because it's very interesting.
Oh, with squats? Sorry, Leagues of Orton.
Well, with squats and with demons, I think demons is really interesting because right now you have the situation where both demons and chaos knights can be allied into Chaos Space Marine lists. So you can create these insane like chaos soup lists that are just weird. I was watching an Art of War video the other day where like the guy won against Chaos Knights by taking Mortarion, Scarbrand, a Bloodthirster, some like Zeech Flamers. It was just, and some Death Guard, all around, just like really strange combinations of things, which I think is interesting because what we're going to see is the amount of viable lists due to the outlying system from Chaos is just expanded ridiculously. And what I think that's going to do is, and I actually think this has been happening. I don't think people have realized this quite yet. I think it's going to make armies just have more crazy counters. And it's going to be more important who you get paired up against in the matchings. Let me give you for instance of this. I think this has been going on for a while. We see right now, if you look at the Nephilim army rankings, people are like, oh my gosh, this game is so balanced. Game is so balanced. It's more balanced than it has ever been. But that's only if you look at top placings. I don't think we're doing enough analysis into a game by game, like a game by game analysis. And what I mean by that is there are so many situations right now where you have an army that's like you can do really well with that army. You could even win top place with that army, unless you go up against Army X. And Army X is just gonna fucking annihilate every inch of your being. Like there's nothing you can do about it. But Army X's weakness is Army W. So Army W and Army X have to face, and Army X has to lose while you continue to win for you to go up against Army W because you can win against Army W. You see what I'm saying? I feel like that's happening a lot more. You see a lot of just like mixed up games occurring, mixed up like leaderboards. And a good for instance of this was that last weekend that I went to, that small little tournament. The Necrons did end up going 3-0. However, their last game they faced Space Wolves and only won by like 5 or 6 points, which is crazy to me because when you play them into Tau, Tau just get wiped. Like there's just nothing that they don't have any options. And what that kind of does is if the Space Wolves player, for instance, was to actually draw the Necrons turn 1, and let's say they just got a little bit luckier, I would never had to play the Necrons, and maybe I would have won that tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you probably had a better experience too.
Huh?
So you probably would have had a better experience too.
Yeah,
playing
probably.
That guy.
Well, I just think we're in a very interesting state right now where I think lists in general have more counters. And I don't know how I feel about that because I think counters are healthy, but I do think it's kind of weird that a majority of your game wins are based down to really two things: who you get paired with and who goes first. A lot of RNG stuff going on there. So even though I think the game has a lot of good balancing mechanics right now as far as win rates, I just think it's very strange because games themselves don't necessarily feel balanced, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's times where, especially like if you just play against someone that's even slightly better than you, or even just like quite a bit better than you, but you're playing an army that just wipes you, it's just not even fun to play.
Yeah.
Like you're just like, okay, cool, I'm gonna lose turn 2. Fun.
Well, now another thing that I'm running into here is like you go up against chaos soup lists with the idea of you can be a horde army. Horde armies are now coming back for Tyranids. Or you can be going up against Chaos Knights or Chaos soup lists with like Scarbrand and Mortarion and Bloodthirsters, and like your army, they're so night and day.
Yeah.
And the question is like, can your army beat both of them? That's a really hard army to make. Like that's a very weird situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's gonna be a very unique style of play as things continue to go on. And then Leagues of Votann is coming out, which is gonna be very interesting. I think Leagues of Votann is gonna really shake things up a lot. I was watching, I think it was Tactical Tortoise. Great YouTube channel, by the way, for like coverage of like the game meta. I think he was talking about how there's so many like big YouTubers right now playing against the League of Votann rules. They're like, oh my gosh, Leagues of Votann is broken. I can't beat Leagues of Votann. But they're also playing with pre-Leagues of Votann armies. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? So it's gonna. I think it's gonna shake up the meta a lot, and I think we're just gonna get into this weird kind of nebulous where it's really just gonna matter who you get paired up against. Like your army can either win or lose because there's just gonna be a lot of hard counters, other than like the top like 2% of players, which we'll see how that works out. The best armies are going to be ones that don't have as many counters, and they're just going to be really hard to play because you're not going to be able to counter anybody, and they're just not going to be able to counter you, and you just have to like win, if that makes sense.
All skill, baby.
Exactly, but that eliminates what I think really it does is eliminates a lot of armies. It eliminates a lot of like one type army, like army that's like Tau for shooting, Mechanicum for shooting. It does really well for things like Tyranids. They utilize every phase really well for things like Sisters. Maybe they're not super great at shooting, so Sisters are a little iffy. Yeah, Tyranids, Necrons. I think the lists that are very versatile, that have good units in every role, are going to start doing really well in tournaments after we see the release of Leagues of Votann and Demons start coming into the meta.
That's okay. And then we'll get Imperial Guard again, baby, to shake it all up again.
Imperial Guard's going to be weird. It's going to be
next
so
year,
weird.
I'll get to play World Eaters.
Next year, yeah, probably. I'm excited for World Eaters. They look good.
They look fucking sick.
Yes, the new model, the model they released with Warhammer Plus looks kind of dumb.
Yeah, it did, but it was kind of cool too. I guess it was like an old like drawing that they just made into a model.
It was like an exact replica of the drawing.
Yeah.
But the chain fist looks so strange. It's like a triangular, weird chain fist. But hey, that's World Eaters, to each their own, I guess.
Amen, brother.
All right, so Silent War? That's what it is? The Silent War?
The Silent War. We start off with the Purge.
So
I'm going to preface this by saying, I don't know if like every time there's an anthology written, they're like, you know what this book really fucking needs? Like it's missing this. Like if we don't have it, this book will never sell.
Yep.
We need some more Ultramarines and Ward Bearers fighting.
Oh my gosh, you just said the right thing.
And I sit there and I stare at that and I'm like, I would literally rather die than read this book because I'm so sick and tired of Ultramarines and Ward Bears. Like,
so many.
You know who would be interested in hearing about? Who we haven't heard about in like 17 books?
Alpha Legion.
Them too.
Wait, let me think. The Iron Warriors. The Thousand Suns.
Oh no, I'm going deeper.
Going deeper. Oh my gosh, who have we not heard about in 17 books? The Blood Angels. We see so many like short stories of the Blood Angels. Definitely not the Shattered Legions.
Oh god, no. Well, this is kind of part of a Shattered Legion.
Are you talking about Chorus Corax?
Yeah. What the fuck are they doing?
We're about to get a book. So this is kind of where we're at in the reading situations. Like we're kind of on. We just started the third lap of our mile, and we're like, Jesus Christ, the worst lap, right? Because by the time you reach the fourth lap, your adrenaline's kicked in. You're like, one more lap to go. This is easy, yep. But this is a fucking slog. This is rough. And luckily, right after this anthology, it's a bunch of actual novels.
Thank God.
But this anthology, yeah, it comes in at a really bad time. We've had anthology book, and this is the last one. So we're very anthologied out. And it's just not interesting.
Yeah. And it's just like a bunch of stories like I honestly like don't care about. Like there are some that actually like enhance a story. Like I think the ones that we had, like Brotherhood of the Storm, Brotherhood of the Moon, whatever the fuck it was, like those at least like enhanced like what you thought about like these characters and kind of like really drove them. And then you get the Path of Heaven, you kind of have like the conclusion of those stories. That's right. Cool. What the fuck does this do?
I think we did talk about this a little bit, and like what they could have done better. And one of the biggest answers we had was like, why are there so many fucking anthologies? I talked to a lot of people that have read the Horus Heresy, or at least good portions of it, and none of them have read a single anthology book. They're like, yeah, we just skipped that. Why are you looking for anthologies?
But I mean, you get things like Vengeful Spirit, where there's 7 fucking short stories you need to read to know what the hell's happening.
Yes.
Or Garo. Like, could you imagine skipping Garo? Like, we kind of can't.
Yep. Why don't we go through the list of all the stories that are listed and a little synopsis of them, which I
Yes.
think you have in front of you, right?
I do. So the first one is The Purge. This is what we were just bitching about. Ultramarines, Word Bearers. You see Robo Dorn, so I guess that's kind of different.
So this word bear we were talking about, I can't remember the name of the story it was from. Is it the word? No. I don't know. But anyway, this was the word bear that was in a previous short story. When really the word bears were first introduced, because this was before the first heretic. It was after
Signs of the Storm, maybe?
huh?
Signs of the Storm?
Yeah, that might be it. That might be it.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
He was a good word bear. This is after Monarchia. So the word bearers are trying to bring this world to compliance, and they find out that they're all worshiping the emperor. And this word bear was like, "Oh, this is fucking great. This is what we do. This is phenomenal.
Dude, I'm so hard right now.
Oh my gosh, we're worshiping the emperor. This is bringing back some memories." But then Lorgar steps in and is like, "No, we don't do that anymore. Kill them all. I'm working on a new book."
The Book of Lorgar.
Breaking Dawn Part 2. So yeah, it's that main character is the main character of this book. He's like not an uninteresting character. It's just a weird story. So what's the next book in the list?
Also, this one's just so fucking long. It was like 130 pages.
So long. I don't know why it was so long. It didn't need to be long.
Next one is the Sigilite.
So I read this one, and I think I want people on the Discord to just hate me for this, but I could not stand this book. The ending to this book, I was like, okay.
So, give a quick synopsis.
Essentially, this person, he's like a covert ops soldier in the Imperium military, is being tasked. He's being interrogated by Malkador.
Have we seen this guy? Sonny said
Yes.
Yeah.
So he is actually, we have met him before. He is the character that comes to retrieve our Vita at the end of the Path of Heaven.
Interesting.
So I kind of knew like he wasn't gonna die.
Yeah.
So he is getting interrogated by Malkador because of a mission that the Imperium sent him on. And so he's like reliving the events of that mission to retrieve something
Dun,
for
dun, dun.
for Malkador, I guess.
It's very important.
Yes. All right, what's the next one?
Next one is Wolf Hunt.
Yeah, so this is one I was concerned that we weren't going to be able to read. But guess what this is? Guess what this is, though.
Oh, this is
is a prequel.
Yasugi one, right?
It's a prequel.
Or not Yasugi. The fucking
Nagasena.
Yeah, Yagasena.
It's a prequel to the Vengeful Spirit. As every good anthology needs a prequel to the Vengeful Spirit. Is this our third one?
Probably.
We had the one with the houses. This is the Wolf Hunt. All of Garo was required, and it was
Basically,
an anthology. Yeah, and then we had one sequel so far.
Shit. Isn't No, that was a short story of it, a prequel of a short story. I think there was another one. I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter, honestly.
So the issue with this book,
Sweet.
yeah, I mean, we get Nagasena, cool. I actually did start reading this one. I totally forgot about it. This is the story of how he captures Severin. But we know how this kind of ends for the most part.
Nuh-uh.
I mean, Severin becomes the knight errant.
He sure does.
Yeah, unless
But
they
he's
clone
only a knight
Severin.
errant on his own terms.
Apparently.
I don't know. He's also a psyker, magically.
Supposedly. I don't know. Maybe they touch into it here. I'm excited to read this one. This one by Graham?
It is a Graham.
Graham he's literally like, I'm gonna tell this one story. Watch how I can link the Outcast Dead into the Vengeful Spirit and then just write a bunch of short stories in between and short story after, and that's all my writing. And the Horse Heresy now is that. So yeah, that's this story. We get to see how that plays out.
All right, the next one, The Army of One by Rob Sanders. It looks like this one brings us some more Malcador. A civil war blazes across the galaxy. The hive world of Proxima Acropis turns traitor, and Malcador the Sigillite dispatches the punishment in the forms of a living weapon. Dun dun dun. What could the living weapon possibly be?
Is it gonna be like Garo?
I hope it's something even dumber. I hope it's fucking like somehow that one assassin, Kel, he actually brought Kel back to life and then sinks him on planets.
I hope it's the Rosetta Stone.
The real living weapon.
Army of One. I don't know.
It sounds very close to the one about Garo.
Yes, it does. Hopefully
Wasn't
it's
it
not
something
a
like that? Or maybe that one was Legion of One.
Legion of One.
Very
not
different.
Army of One. Two
Yeah,
very different short story titles.
Yes.
Okay, so there's that. That's one that we'll have to read through.
After that, we get to see Mr. Nick Kime. It's been I think it's been a minute. The Gates of Terra. Let's see. Looks like Horus and his traitor legions will eventually strike at Terra, but he will find it unguarded. The Ardent Reef and encircling ring of gun bastions and asteroid bases, though one amongst many such lines of defiance. Oh, there's an Ultramarine.
So this is about the fight between Horus and the loyalists in the like asteroid fields.
No, I think this is.
Was it like a dream? Maybe a Portarabo
It's
simulator.
probably a fucking dream or something because this is something like them getting to Terra and talks. There's an Ultramarine finds himself in command.
It's gonna be an interesting one. I'm sorry we haven't read all of these to give more insight, but like it's been a slog for sure.
It's been a slog, and I've had a lot of life things recently.
Yeah. I'm a little worried that by the time we get to yeah, probably not. I don't know, maybe not. I was a little worried that it's gonna start to become all like fighting around Terra, but I think only Praetorian Adorn really does that. So
I'm really excited for Return of Dorn.
yes. But then once we get to the siege, it's gonna be it's fighting in and around Terra. So we'll see what happens.
Although I've heard good things with the Siege books.
Yeah, I've heard really good things. I've heard amazing things about Warhawk and amazing things about the new one that it's just released. So
Yeah, same about Saturnine.
Saturnine.
There the fuck. Saturnine. Saturnin.
Saturn.
I'm sure it's gotta be one of those. So next, Ghosts Speak Not by James Wall.
Let me guess. Is it about Loken?
No. Actually. No. But you're on the right track.
Is it about Garo?
You see Garo's name here. Let's see. When Nathaniel Garo carried word of the War Master's treachery to Terra, he also brought with him 70 loyal sons of the 14th Legion.
Ugh.
Distrusted by his kinsmen and languished in seclusion in Luna until now, Mindra Kendall, once a sister silenced but more recently in service to the Sigillite, gives Helig Galor of the Death Guard a new purpose and a new duty when they'll ultimately see him reunited with his former battle captain on the field of war. Quit trying to tear up your bed. What the hell's wrong with my dog?
Oh my gosh. Okay. You know what I think we haven't heard about from in a very, very long time?
What?
I could give a shit less about the Death Guard from Why the Eisenstein. I mean, the point was about Garo and all the other two like main characters. The other three main characters have already died.
Yeah.
So I have no idea who this other person is. But The Sisters of Silence. Do you remember that book? I think it was by James Swallow, that short story where the Sisters of Silence board that
Oh yeah, that other ship, and then there's that other Sisters of Silence who's like, man, fuck this shit.
Yeah, and she like turns traitor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's happened with that? That's actually been about 30 books since we've heard anything from that whatsoever. That was like in the first novella.
Or at least one of them.
Yeah, one of the first two. And now it's like, where is that? I don't know. Maybe we'll get an answer to that. There's a lot of these like weird little tiny short little stories that haven't gone anywhere. I'm a little worried that none of them are gonna go anywhere. Like that, for instance, the one that we talked about at the beginning of The Purge, I don't think that actually has like a crazy fruition. If it is a crazy fruition, it's gonna be like, and then that one guy dies on Terra. Like in the Siege of Terra, it's gonna be like, oh, and here's blah 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 blah, and they got shot. And we're supposed to be like, oh my gosh, not blah 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 blah. I remember him from these two anthology books.
Yeah, I mean, probably the same thing with like that one Custode character from like the first one, who went through the game or whatever, and was like super close to the Emperor. Like,
yeah,
cool. What was the point?
Yeah, I think it was there's going to be quite a few of these little anthology. Like, what's the point of the
What about the fucking Iron Hand on that crazy ship with fucking Iron Hand ghosts?
what was the signal? Awaken.
Something stupid as fuck. Mustard. I don't know.
Tell Rogel Dorn if he wants to see us again. All he has to do is signal. What's the signal? Mustard. Oh shit.
Like, oh, that's a good one. No one would think of that one.
Really good signal.
It's close to our yellow things, but it's mustard.
Okay. Yeah, so he's sitting out there. What about the fucking dudes? The Valor, the praying mantis machine.
Yeah, you need to know about the praying mantis machines.
Yeah, we need to see what happens to them. They're very important. We need to know about the dolphin machines and the cow machines that they have.
I definitely need to know about the dolphin machines.
Like, what's going on with the dolphin machines? Like, it blows my mind that I'm pretty sure in this entire series, we're going to have literally no idea what happens to the main character of the Mechanicum book.
Oh, yeah.
She's
She
like
became the fucking
part dragon now.
She also just watches the dragon.
She's a dragon watcher.
And like the thing that got stolen, the book or whatever.
I don't think they're gonna touch on it. I don't think it's a thing.
Yeah, we just threw that in there.
Yeah, like there's just so many of these little storylines. So yeah, so Nathaniel Garo, they're like, you know what really needs to be touched on? If we add the numbers up, there's like 13 Death Guard that are hanging out with the Sisters of Silence. We need to write a short story about them. So many better options out there, but okay. These 13 Death Guard, what's going on with them? I thought all of them died. Like, only a few made it back. We get to the scene where, like, at the end, the Lord of Flies, one of them turns to the Lord of Flies.
Yeah.
He kills the Tech Marine, who I thought was like the coolest of them. And then Garo kills him. But then later the apothecary, who is the other like main character, dies in a short story. Like one of Garo's short stories. So at that point, that's all the extensive knowledge I know of everybody that
I
came
don't
back.
I don't even remember.
Now all of a sudden there's like somebody else that's there. Like that's fine. Can't wait. See what he's doing. All right, what's next?
Next is Templar by John French.
Sigismund?
On the doorstep of Holy Terra, the shadows of treachery still lurks. Upon a comet shrine dedicated to the glory of unity, a group of heretic word-bearers prepare to return to the solar system after being abandoned by their brethren. Only the forces commanded by Sigismund, first captain of the Imperial Fist, stand between the traitors and their goal. Will the
So
legendary Templar skills be good enough? Probably. I'm going to assume, considering there's a whole ass book about him.
there's a sequel. This short story is a sequel to The Purge, which is the short story that took up
Holy
most of
shit.
this book.
Oh god, no.
Yeah. I imagine it's going to be something like that captain left behind a captain of the word bearers that is just so powerful. All of the word bearers captains are just so insanely just buffy dudes that just walk around and murder all these other fucking
They kill you with a
Astartes.
glance.
Yeah, and I'm like, why is every single word bearer written? It's like, oh yeah, the Lorgar kills the bloodthirster lord. I'm like, where are these like word bearers like all of a sudden coming out to
What
be
training
insane?
have they done? Because they don't fucking train for shit.
These guys have like 375,000 captains walking around one-shotting Primarchs, apparently. Like, what is happening?
And they spent like fucking 200 years worshiping the fucking emperor, like not doing shit.
Yeah, they didn't even like do a lot of compliances that only happened in the last 2 years of the Crusade. So I just think it's weird. I'm gonna find it so annoying if they're like if the book opens up and it's like um, Argonith Tufadal is on his throne on the comet. He is the biggest, baddest motherfucker around. And
He's actually so powerful, he is leading the comet straight to Terra.
don't forget about the priest with sketchy motives that is also in his company. I wonder if he's gonna do anything weird with demons in this story.
Also, I feel like, especially like word bearers and Sigismund, I feel like it's such a weird combo because Sigismund also is like, oh, Emperor, you're a pretty hot god. I like to worship you. And the word bearer's like, hey, we used to do that. We got a new god though. You should check him out.
But I worship him with my hammer.
It's not just a piece of art.
Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be a weird one. I'm like guessing about everything that's gonna be done. I'm
Maybe
pretty
it's
sure.
fucking great. John French is
Watch.
normally pretty decent.
Watch as our hero, Sigismund, battles the most powerful word bearers captain in existence. Didn't see that one coming. Sorry, they're on an asteroid. Can't we just blow it up? No. We have to go into hand-to-hand combat for honor.
Honor
Bet you
and
that's the
glory.
story. I'm like 100% positive that's the story. They're just on an asteroid. Haven't you seen fuck
Get it?
Armageddon? Can't we just blow it up with a mining team? Why don't we train miners to be astronauts and then throw them onto the
Easy.
This is such an easy task. The second is like, no, I kill for the emperor. All right, man. Well, this place sucks.
All right. Next is Distant Echoes of Old Night by Rob Sanders.
All right, let me take a guess. Let me take a guess. Distant echoes of old night. I'm guessing. Hold up. Of old night?
Says
This is about. I bet you this is about. Not. I know that it's Knight Night, but I bet you this is about some Imperial Knights, Knight household.
Nope. Death Guard Chaplain Murneo hunts
Ugh.
a small force of Imperial Fist on a forest moon. As his foes elude him, he unleashes one of the Legion's most terrifying weapons, the Destroyers.
Wait, that's what it's called. It's Destroyers.
The Destroyers. I don't know what the fuck the Destroyers are. I looked up a picture, and it pulled up Ultramarine Destroyers. So I don't know.
Oh no. This is gonna be terrible.
I think it's just like a space marine with missile launchers.
Like Terminators?
Destroyer Marine is a type of elite space marine squad employed during the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy. The origin of the Destroyer squads lie in the Unification Wars, blah, 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 blah. Normally, Destroyer squads were shunned and deemed tainted by their battle brothers, while still viewed by Imperial commanders as a necessary. What? Oh, they had the leisure to use forbidden devices, such as radiation weapons. I feel like that's just a fucking Death Guard squad. Don't they just have fucking like poison shit?
It's another amazing thing. It's like, hey, so there's Imperial fists on this planet. This is full of trees. We're the Death Guard. What should we do? Well, I mean, you guys have virus bombed every other fucking planet you've been to. No. Send in the destroyers. Who are the destroyers? We have disowned them for using radioactive weapons.
Yep.
Don't you guys destroy planets with the virus bomb? Yeah, but that's pretty fucked up. Radioactive weapons.
Super fucked. We don't do that.
Oh man. And again, I really hope that everyone in this story dies. I don't know them personally, but I just feel
I
like
personally know every single space marine.
if they survive, it's going to be like, well, here's a whole nother group of people that I have to remember that they're going to bring up randomly in the Siege of Terra that just dies. I don't know.
Siege of Terra.
Siege of Terra.
All right, next. The Gray Angel.
All right, let me guess.
By John French.
The Gray Angel. I mean, that makes me think of Nathaniel Garrow. And John French normally writes the Nathaniel Garrow books. Get the fuck out of here.
This story describes Garviel Loken's first mission as a knight errant, as he was sent to Caliban to investigate the loyalty of the Dark Angels.
Well, now I'm interested.
Although ultimately fruitless, Loken discovers important information regarding the disposition of Luther and the mysterious cipher. This sounds really cool.
I'm interested in that book. Okay, cool. And we get the main character of Loken. It's like, hey, we're going to write the first 3 books from Loken's point of view. But don't worry, you'll get it again. Oh, when? On book 38 in an anthology. Okay.
Hope you enjoy the wait.
Yeah, interesting time to bring him back up. Well, I'm excited for that. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, that one should be good. All right, next, The Lost Sons.
The Lost Sons. The Lost Sons. Oh, yeah. This could mean anything.
I'll give you a hint.
Drop it.
Hell in a Cell.
It's about the Blood Angels?
About the Blood Angels.
That's like the only sons
The Blood Angels were lured into a trap at Cygnus Prime by the most vile treachery imaginable, but not all of them went with sanguineous to the fateful journey. Keeping the home fires burning on Ball, the remaining honor guard are brought news of their Primarch's death and must decide upon the final course for their legion themselves. That's interesting.
That sounds pretty
How the fuck did they hear that Sigismund died? Or not Sigismund, that'd be interesting. If Sanguinius would have died.
Well, maybe it's a lie.
Well, obviously, he's alive. We know he survived Cygnus Prime.
I don't know.
He's a god emperor now.
I'm kind of interested. I bet you there's some Alpha Legion shit going on.
Oh yeah, I love this enough.
Those two books, those two stories seem very interesting. I'd be interested in those stories.
They're
So
probably
far,
like
those
fucking
two,
4 pages each.
yeah, those are the only two winners.
All right, next. Oh, I can already tell this will be a good one. Child of Night.
Oh, it's Night Lords. Oh,
It is Night
yes.
Lords.
Ah, I'm happy.
But this is an interesting one.
Okay.
In the dark hive sumps beneath Terra, Chief Librarian Felzorst of the Night Lords Legion is being hunted. Having abandoned his insane Primarch and brothers many years ago, he doesn't know what he's done wrong, but he's sure he doesn't want to be captured. What will happen to the Legion has fallen into heresy. Where will his loyalty lie?
I mean, this dude is 100% going to be a Knight Errant. I'm going to go ahead and
Oh
guess.
yeah.
I'm going to guess this right now. But so I wonder if he's part of the Crusader host and he just escaped. That's kind of cool.
Ah, fuck. I knew that son of a bitch was gonna betray the Emperor.
Trust me, guys. I know he's weird. I know he's weird.
Look, I left that motherfucker a long time ago.
Hate
I'm
that
actually
guy.
not a part supposed to be here. But I said,
Sorry.
fuck that guy.
You're wearing blue, so we have to kill you.
A very Rogel Dorn logic right there.
Yeah, that's pretty much how that works. Midnight Clad. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm excited for these stories so far at the end. The stories
Yeah,
at the end seem
it seems like
interesting.
it's ending good. It just starts
So the
as rough as possible.
last three look good. What's up next?
Luna Mendax. Mendax. The Graham McNeil.
Okay, so it's a Graham McNeil story. The, the title doesn't make me think it's about Thousand Suns. Luna Mendax? I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna say it's about 1,000 Suns.
No. Honestly, this might be like this might be a prequel to fucking Vengeful Spirit. The story describes the events following the return of Knight Errant Garville Loken from his first mission. While struggling to come to terms with his new life, Loken is visited by the spirit of his friend Tarek Torgadon. He renews his dedication to fighting for the Imperium. Which, how many times did fucking Torgadon's ghost talk to him in Vengeful Spirit?
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure this is a prequel to that.
Oh shit. And then the one about him going to Caliban. Who's that written by?
The Caliban one is John French.
So Graham McNeil writes 2 prequels to the Vengeful Spirit in this anthology.
We need
Because
more.
he didn't have one. He didn't have one in the last one, so he needed to make up for it. Like at this point in time, and Vengeful Spirit's the longest.
Have you guys heard about the Vengeful Spirit? Let me add more detail.
Oh my gosh. All right. Is that the last one?
No, there's 2
Oh
more.
my gosh. There's so many.
There has to be a bunch of like super short stories.
Holy crap. Okay.
The next one is Patience by James Swallow. What is your guess?
Patience. This is about the Silence sisters. Sisters of Silence.
It is.
Yes.
It's actually like a follow-up to the other one. I guess this came out as a 2-parter, yeah.
Oh, a follow-up to the Death Card ones?
Yeah. To the one earlier in the story.
Oh,
it's a follow-up of Ghost Speak Not.
I feel like this is so strange. It's like, why are we doing prequels and sequels to short stories in the same anthology? Like, what's happening?
It's
All right.
awesome.
All right.
Last but not least, The Watcher.
Oh, I feel like I know who The Watcher is. Well, there's The Watchers. So this could be, I feel like this is going to be like one of 2 things. It's either going to be about Rogel Dorn, or it's going to be about somebody on Caliban.
A shuttle returns to the solar system bearing the sole survivor of a traitor attack. However, delirious and so close to death, his tale remains untold. Ison, of the Knight Errant, formerly a librarian of his legion, delves into the mind of the warrior, and the truth will chill him to the core.
Boom.
Spooky.
Who knows?
So spooky.
Just very scary. Watch that be the same character, the Night Lord. from the previous story.
Holy shit, that was fucked up.
All right, so let's go ahead and go back. Let's cover the first couple. That way we can move on next week and maybe rapid fire through them on the reviews. So we have The Purge. Oh man.
This is so rough.
Yes, it was 30% of the book, which is why I'm so surprised that there's so many stories. On top of the fact that both The Sigilite and Wolf Hunt are also decently long stories.
What makes this worse too? This fucking story has a prologue, has an epilogue. There's 13 fucking chapters.
Yes, it does.
God damn it.
So this follows what's the guy's name?
Sir Suzox, I don't fucking know, something stupid. Sor Talgon.
Saul Talgron. So Saul Talgron, like we said, we have seen him before in the previous short story. I don't remember what it was. But
Signs of the Storm.
Yeah, Signs of the Storm. He's the main character there. So this follows him at two different points in time. The first one is before Isvan 5, but after Isvan 3. And the second one is modern day.
Yeah. Modern day.
Yeah, so thousands of years in the past. So he is on Terra in between the two Isvans before Rogadorn believes or knows that the word bearers have turned traitor. He has a bit of a talk with Rogadorn, who informs him that he's like questioning him essentially about like what he's doing in the Sol system.
What's also interesting too is he's like is asking Rogadorn like, do you think I'm a traitor? And he's like, nah, the word bearers love them some big E. Which is really weird because you think Rogadorn would have been a lot more what's the word I'm looking for? Suspicious?
Yeah, I don't think so too. Rogadorn reveals that he had imprisoned. He kidnapped some of them, but he imprisoned the Crusader host, which is where we get like the story for the Outcast Dead. And in that time, he's revealing to the word bearer that he will allow him to take the one word bearer from the Crusader host back with him, but he has to leave. He has to leave Terra, and the word bearer is not very happy about that. And he does ask a couple questions that I think were kind of funny. He's like, "Did you imprison the Imperial Fist Crusader hosts?"
Rogadorn's like, fuck no, I didn't do that.
So
Those
like,
are my boys.
We're way cooler than you are. And he's like, "Oh, okay. Did you imprison the Space Wolf Crusader hosts?" And Dorn's like sweating. No. Lehman Russ would have probably killed me.
Have you seen that guy? He gets mad.
The dude gets so angry. So I went ahead and let them go too. So yeah, only, and then after the ones that escaped, I'm assuming there's only like 5 Crusader hosts left.
Surely there wasn't that many to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, we lost the ones for the Thousand Suns, the World Eaters, the Death Guard, the Emperor's Children, the Luna Wolves. We lost. It looks like the Night Lords aren't in there.
Well, there's just a one rogue guy. Please, not me.
They might have an Iron Warrior. They might have an Alpha Legion guy in there.
No, they don't have Alpha Legion. Alpha Legion has them.
The Alpha Legion is actually the Alpha Legion is the one imprisoning them. They're actually the custodians.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah. So, those are the only 2 legions, and then you have like random loyalist ones. Like there's like probably some salamanders in there, and I don't know. The salamanders should be like, hey, we need to double our numbers, bring them in. Also, the Raven Guard, probably some White Scars. Who knows? But yeah.
Well, I think the Raven Guard ones may have got picked up when Korax visits. Like, hey, can I have my guy? That's like a whole fucking army right there.
Would have been nice of Korax to ask, but we didn't get that. Yeah, the guy in jail. Oh, Dad visited. Did he say anything about me?
We forgot to mention it,
No, he's just gonna go home and try and make more of you. Which is exactly what happened. Word bearer goes to collect this guy from the Crusader host, only to reveal that there's another word bearer hiding on Terra, which is crazy to me how that all planned out and like worked. And they sacrifice this word bearer to put a demon inside his body.
Yep. Very word bearer thing to do.
Then they buried him, and they were like, "We'll come back for you later." So I swear to God, if we're in the middle of the siege, it's like, and then this monster comes out of the ground. That word bearer dude from that one story, you remember? Like,
he just turns into Kabunda. Kabunda comes out. It's like, I've been fucking waiting.
I love for just like a demon to pop up out of the ground and we'd be like, oh my gosh, that guy, and then just get like speared immediately. Well, I guess that short story really did mean nothing whatsoever.
Just like most of them.
Yeah. Then it kind of goes into the future, and it does reveal that the word bear was there doing some sort of weird shit to a comet, which we will figure out, I suppose, later in this book for the sequel to The Purge.
Assuming that's what that was.
I'm pretty sure, but yeah. Then it goes to the future. South Talgron is purging some ultramarine planet. Ooh.
Yes, which we really fucking give a shit about.
Yes. So there is all kinds of like story in this about the Ultramarines. They all end up dying. None of it matters, literally whatsoever.
I do like though, in like one part of this, when he's like making like his group that go to that planet. The ones he didn't like, he's hit the fucking cow.
Yeah, that's true. He's like, you go ahead and go to Cal.
We don't fucking want you.
The Ultramarines actually won. It was like a suicide thing. Basically, it was like, okay, if we can't have this planet, then no one can.
Yeah.
So they blew up the planet, and the only person that survived was Sal Telegram, but he's like super injured. They used like napalm. What was it called?
Yeah, phosphorus.
Phosphex.
Yeah.
Which I think is so crazy because it's like Gilman would never deploy Phosphex. I'm like, there's so many viruses you can drop on shit. Like, where you keep coming up with these virus bombs? Like, that's crazy. I would be using that shit all the time.
Also, if you have it, why would you not use
Why
it?
didn't the word bears just use it in the first place?
You know, why are we doing all this dumb shit? Just blow up the fucking planet and move on.
Why are we fighting with literal chainsaws? This doesn't
They're
make
not even good ones. They're
any
electric
sense.
powered.
Yeah, I have to replace the battery every once in a while. This seems weird. I'm just gonna literally blow up your whole planet in like half a second. I would have completed the crusade so much faster than everyone else.
Fucking amen.
So from there, South Talgron gets the same like treatment that they did to the guy in the cave on Terra. He gets a demon put in. No, he gets put in Dreadnought.
Yeah, he gets Dreadnought.
But does he also have like a demon thing inside him?
I don't think so, but he's a fucking word bearer, so probably.
Yeah, he might. There's a good chance.
That's how I felt about reading.
Yeah, it's putting me to sleep.
I was listening to the audiobook and I was like, Jesus Christ. I've been listening to this for so long. Why is it still going?
There were definitely times in the battle between the Ultramarines and the Word Bears I just zoned out. And I came back to and they were still battling. I was like, well, I didn't miss anything.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. It was really stupid too. Like at one point, like when they were like trying to get like the bombs to happen, they're like, "Oh, the ship, it's coming to us. We must radio them and wait." And she's like, "Well, it'll be another 7 minutes." And he's like, 7 more minutes. We won't last. And like, we're about to blow up the planet. Does it fucking matter?
They'll be okay. Yeah, one thing I think is kind of interesting is there was an Ultramarine that attacked Saltongron who was a psyker. And he breaks the Edict of Nikea and attacks him with the psych powers. And then the Saltaran's like, oh, see, you're also a traitor. Ah, There you go. And I'm like, sure, I guess. But at the same time, Gilliman gave them the okay to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who gives a shit? And also, like, comparing apples to oranges here. You kind of turned your back on the Imperium and slaughtered thousands of your brothers in a surprise attack in order to try and overthrow the Emperor. This dude's throwing zappy things out of his fingers. Two very different
Also,
things.
like half of your fucking like legions like possessed by fucking demons and shit.
See, you're just as bad as you grow a third arm. Yeah, I don't know. That's a bit of a stretch there. Yeah, just kind of interesting conversation. So that was the Purge. That was 30% of the book we're talking about. So I think we're gonna get through these very quickly because there's very little material.
Yeah. But
We have
hopefully they get better.
hopefully we have the Sigilite.
I haven't read it yet.
Do you want me to talk about it?
Yeah, we'll wait.
We'll
Because that's
wait.
going to be another 15% of the book.
It's true. It's a decently long one. I think it's
We'll
very
have a
silly.
10-minute episode without it.
If you guys enjoyed the Sigilite, please let me know because I want to know why you enjoyed the Sigilite. Maybe I'm just being very cynical. This was a very cynical episode.
Yeah, we weren't very into this anthology.
We're
Also, it's
having a
just
rough
so
time.
disappointing that we just keep getting Ultramarines and Word Bears, and it's so painful.
There's just a lot of anthologies too that we've had to go through. It's like we're coming out of it though. So hopefully after this book, we'll hit a good stride.
This should be. I think we get Angel's Caliban next,
I'm excited for that.
then Praetorian of Dorn after that.
Very excited for that.
That's two fucking hopefully
I
home
think it's
runners.
Korax.
Which honestly I'm interested in because I don't know
Excited
what
for
the fuck
that.
the Raven Guard's been doing.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to Shattered Legions. That's going to be a really rough one. I think it's going to be just
It's
like
also an
this.
anthology.
I know. That's going to be a rough one. But I think once we get past Shattered Legions, like we are in the home stretch. Like the rest of them are good. There's some like another anthology, but it's about preparation for the siege. Fine, whatever. But like I think it'll be pretty good.
Yeah, hope so. Worst case scenario, they're dog shit, and you guys just get to hear us bitch about it.
Yep.
So that's it. Next week we will finish reviewing the what's this called? The Silent War. Remember, on our 100th episode, we will be doing a giveaway. We will also hopefully have merch soon, as soon as we get final designs back. Hit us up on the Discord. You can find it pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. Chips are enabled, so check that out as well. You can email us at theheresylodge@gmail.com. We're on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment. That's it, everyone. Have a good one, and we'll be back next week.